Hello, my name is William, the Avid reader, and today I'm reviewing Five Nights at Freddy's, The Silver Eyes, written by Cawthon and Kira Breed-Wrisley in 2015. So this is based on the Five Nights at Freddy's game series book. So it's in a similar universe, parallel universe, but not everything that is canon here is canon in the game. So that's an interesting thing. It's about 400 pages, and here it's written not suitable for a younger reader. And there's this cool thing here that if you open the book wide, you get a whole face of Freddy, kind of like this. It looks weird on the screen here. And Scott caught them while you did Five Nights at Freddy's games, and then Kira Breed-Wrisley is the more professional author. And this is a horror book, and it's middle-sized, 400 pages. So and the letters are usually very big, so it's a very fast read. So before I go on, there will be spoilers in this video, and I will also I think explain at the end why there have been lack of videos recently. So anyway, so this story, it happens in 1997, so 10 years after a bunch of the children murders at the Freddy's chain. As Freddy's is a place like Chuck E. Cheese, kind of thing like that. And there have been two people key to this who created this. So you've had the businessman called William Afton, who, and here's large spoiler, he turns out to be the killer of all his children. And also then you've got Henry, so he's the father of the protagonist Charlie, the Emily family, and his son and the twin brother of the protagonist is killed in 1983, and they're killed by this spring trap thing, this yellow, they call it Yellow Bonnie in this book, but it's William Afton in this book, who's known as Dave throughout most of the book, and he's the main antagonist of the book. But the story builds up very slowly. There's a lot of nothing. You don't really even get to see the FNAF characters until like 1/3 of the book, I think, or halfway past the book. It takes a while. It happens over a few days, this story, and you don't realize who the antagonist is until later on. So the main character is Charlie. So she's a 17-year-old girl. She's lost her twin brother Sammy when she was a small girl. Her father committed suicide later on when there was a bunch of children's murders. He let himself be killed by the animatronic. And there's this talk about this murder. One of the murdered children in 1987 was this Michael, and she's met up with a group of friends from 10 years ago, since this is a small town of Hurricane, and everyone pretty much except this Carlton guy has moved away. And there's a bunch of tension in this book. So Carlton is kidnapped by the killer eventually, and also then you've got Jason, the brother of this protectionist person, the friend of kind of the best friend of Charlie. Charlie is a girl, by the way. It's a weird name for a girl, sure, but yeah, it's short for Charlotte. But he's the brother of Marla. She's the overprotective sister, and she's bring them from New York. And they visit the Five Nights at Freddy's place several times, 3 times. So first time nothing special happens, but not everyone went there. This is a group of friends, only some of them show up a day later. Next time they go, I think it was the security guard. I'm not sure if you saw them. I'm mixing up maybe things. I think they come back again, and this time the security guard says he saw them and takes them into the restaurant, and then you see a bunch of animatronics going wrong, and you've got Carlton disappearing with the security guard Dave, and they call the Carlton's father, who's the police chief in the town, so he's called Clay, and they later on send Officer Don to investigate the restaurant, and he gets killed by this spring trap character. Yeah, there are not a lot of kills in this book. Only it's like mystery where you've got 2 people who die. You had a bunch of people who died way back, but not in the story itself. Anyway, so I think it's spends. I think maybe it actually spends 5 nights. I might confuse because yeah, there's a lot of things that happen in one day, and we got Charlie who visits with her friend, kind of boyfriend guy, Sean. She visits her own house a few times, and you see there that she had these animatronics build these other types, dolls and things like that, and the house sounds that and it's a bit creepy. And they check out the garage when they find a NATO skeleton. At the end, she goes and sees a grave, and she reminisces about things that happens originally. It's a short and interesting read, but there's not a lot to say about it. Yeah, it's 5 nights at Freddy's. There's not much to go from there if you know what it's about, but yeah, there's a human element in this book. It's not just a bunch of robots killing people. There's a slow horror build-up, so yeah, this is actually a horror book, and it's a damn good one. So, how would I rate Five Nights at Freddy's: The Silver Eyes? I would say 8 out of 10. Maybe you may be bored a bit in the beginning. I didn't find this book a bit boring. I mean, you did have some Deus Ex Machinas sometimes, so that might have been not so original. But the collaboration between these 2 authors, Cawthon and Kira Breed-Wrisley, was very well done, I would say. And you've got the important days like 1983, where you had the brother who's dead, 1987, where you had the child murders, and then 1997 is when you have everyone who meets up again, and yeah, you have one cop die and the antagonist dies at the end because there's this scene where Cawthon is in a suit with a bunch of springs, and they have to get him out of it. Trey gets him out of it, otherwise he will die by a snapping shot. And the antagonist at the end takes Charlie, tries to keep her where they are, but she springs the lock, so he dies painfully, like in the games where he's crushed by the suit, and he dies this time, I think. I'm not sure, you never know. And you learn that the animatronics were not trying to kill them the whole time, but were trying to protect them. So yeah, then you've got the souls of these children here, so you get to see Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy, who they just call Yellow Freddy. So yeah, pretty good book, 8 out of 10. So Cawthon and Kira Breed-Wrisley, you did a good job writing Five Nights at Freddy's: The Silver Eyes. So now I will maybe explain why there have been a lack of videos in the past week and a half. So I made a couple of comment reviews on my channel of a couple of books I've read. I've read The Hobbit, and then in Swedish I read the Du Macapare. That's a book on the history of Czechoslovakia. And The Hobbit was a great book, and Du Macapare was a good, decent book. And the reason I haven't made videos for 1 week and a half is I got sick last week and had a fever for a day or 2, and my voice was lost pretty much for a full week and a half. You can see still that when I talk I have some coughing fits. But yeah, I hope I will not get sick anymore. I usually I have a very robust body in the sense that I rarely get sick, so you can expect videos regularly again. I'm reading now another of E.J. Hobsbawm book, which is the Age of Revolutions. If you remember, I reviewed the Age of Extreme in Swedish, so yeah. And I think, yeah, we will be having some more reviews coming up eventually, so sorry for the lack of videos, but anyway, I am the Avid Reader. This was a review of Five Nights at Freddy's: The Silver Eyes, written by Cawthon and Kira Breed-Wrisley in 2015. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys next time.